up a little bit. Got a new filter on there. Haven't adjusted the valves yet, but that's what we got. tool kit. Suction cups. 4 set valves. Big and small. Even got a set of fancy little gloves. Nice. On Amazon. Today, working on the broom. Going to be taking the head back off because still blows smoke everywhere, and I need to do the valve seals along with. I have a high compression piston coming in. About 2 days is Friday or Thursday right now. Should be in Saturday. So I'm gonna get this thing torn apart. It's already kind of. Got the plastics off, shifter disconnected, carburetor off, pull start off so we can set TDC. I've got to pull the spark plugs, I've got to pull the valve covers and the cam cap, cam tensioner, and then unbolt the head. We'll get it off and then lap the valves, put new valve seals in it, and then we'll be waiting for the piston. This is my setup that I got ready to go for. To pull the head off, we got a 10 mil, a 12 mil. We're gonna need a flathead, 8 millimeter, 17 millimeter, an adjustable wrench, or another 17 millimeter to hold the flywheel. Got our valve grinding compound, suction cups, valve compression tool, and some new valve seals from Tusk. Got a whole seal kit actually, but we're using the good ones.
I look for a place to keep my love, but I won't give you up.
exhaust loose. Kind of hard to tell, but got it loose. Cam gears off. Sorry guys, because my phone died. Got it tied up. Head's loose. Ready to be pulled, honestly, so I'm about to get it off. It's one of the major reasons I wanted to get a new cam. You guys can't see that. It's completely messed up. A ridge. Just got, excuse me, exhaust valve off. Keepers here. Kind of went smoothly, but tool was wanting to walk around on the top of the valve spring cap, so I think I'm gonna use the bigger one that fits all the way around it. But check this out. Holy cow. I'm glad we took it apart, because that's really bad. Get this cleaned up. Just got, excuse me, exhaust valve off. Keepers here. Kind of went smoothly, but tool was wanting to walk around on the top of the valve spring cap, so I think I'm gonna use the bigger one that fits all the way around it. But check this out. Holy cow. I'm glad we took it apart, because that's really bad. Get this cleaned up. Got the exhaust valve lapped up. Shined. Looking pretty good. Clean all the way around. The valve itself. Cleaned it up. Tiny bit of pitting on there, but it'll do way better than it was. I'm gonna do the intake next. I just got done with the intake valve. Looking good. Beautiful. Gonna throw in the new valve seal, and that'll be that. Just got the the bearing on the new cam. It was a pain in the ass because it was stuck on the old one, and I had to beat the piss out of it. Stuck it in the vise like that, and beat on the top of it till it popped off. And then to get it on the new one, it's okay. Set it on this piece of wood and use a 15/16. It fit pretty comfortably around. The inside of that bearing, and seated it on there pretty good. Spins, no slop or anything. Just waiting on the piston, but I'm about to throw this cam in there just to have one last thing to do when it gets here. Go ahead and lap the valves. Not lap the valves, sorry. Lash the valves while we're here. Cut it off. Just makes it a lot easier. I'm doing the exhaust first. Calls for 11 thousandths minimum to 15 millimeter minimum. So we're just gonna jump straight to the 15. Exhaust is 11,000, or Jesus, I can't speak. The exhaust minimum is 11 millimeters, and the maximum is a 15. can't get a 15 in there, and I don't have an 11, but I do have a 13. That's tight. Pretty tight. It's a little too tight on us. Maybe not. Just try 10. We'll leave that. This lashed on the last time I put the head back on, but just wanted to double check because we did throw a new cam in, new valve seals in there. So, do the intake. It calls for a minimum of 5 millimeters and a maximum of 9. I'm gonna start with 6. Should have a 5, I thought. Yeah. Minimum of 5. So that's really loose. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but that's a 5. So we'll try a 9 or a 10. I don't know if we have a 9. Or an 8 and a 10. Since max it should be is a 9, so we'll try and fit a 10 in there. If it's that loose, then we definitely need a 10. Yeah, so intake is extremely loose. Bring back out the 5, which is supposed to be set to. Leave him in here somehow. And I've got a 3/16, which this is a square nut on top, but 3/16 does work just fine. And you'll need a 10 millimeter. Break this lock nut loose. And you can really adjust this with your fingers. Sorry for all the plane noises. I live in between like 5 lakes. And they're all seaplanes. That's about where we want it. Not too loose, not too tight. So yeah, still a bit loose. We'll try our 10 again. It is tighter than it was, but I want it tighter. So let's go back in here. Just 5 back in. See if we can't get it a little tighter. It's one of those things that you really gotta double check a few times. That's how you want it. To have some resistance, but to be able to move it. Double check with our 10 again. And again, this says a maximum of 9 millimeters, so this 10 shouldn't be able to fit. Perfect. Alright, head is ready to go back on. We are still waiting for the piston and rings from Wise Who. It's got the high compression 10 1/4 to 1 compression piston and rings coming in. Should be here anytime today. So pick back up when I get it in and start putting this thing back together. Got the Bruin all put together. Wiseco piston inside. It's a part number for anybody interested. This is a piston ring kit. It comes with circlips. Everything you need really. Rings. Piston. Pin itself. I've got all of it basically put back together. I just got done torquing down the head studs. I'm about to throw the cam gear in and then the cam timing chain tensioner. And then we'll be taking the carb off to switch out the jets in it for original factory size jets. I got everything set back in time. The cam that I got didn't fit right. It was recessed farther out than the cam gear. So when I put the oil, whatever that thing's called, on, it would bottom out on the cam first before locking down on the cam gear. So I had to drill out the center of this to a 1/2 inch, which is the circumference, the outside circumference of the head of the camshaft that this would sit on originally. And then the pin on the camshaft was also proceeding, like poking out farther than the cam gear itself. So I had to drill a hole, a tiny little hole, can't remember what size, for the pin to go in so that this would sit flush against the cam gear. And then also I put the washer there so that it would hold the, you get it. Now I'm fighting this piece of junk. It's so worn out and sloppy inside. There's no muffler, no packing, anything inside it. And I can't get it back on for one. For two, I can't get it out. And for three, the lighting sucks, but those are supposed to be Allen heads, and I'm sorry you can't really see. But they are completely round, not any shape or size to those. And that's where you would pull it apart into two pieces. So I'm going to be either doing some cutting and some welding, which I think I'm just gonna cut this thing off and see if I can't use like a Raptor muffler or something like that. Cause this thing's shot anyways, man. But I'll pick back up whenever I figure something out with this exhaust. It is Saturday, Valentine's Day, and last night I was working on the exhaust. Got it separated. Had to cut the flange off. And sorry for the noise because I got the fucking turbinator kicking. But I had to cut the flange off to get the exhaust separated. And then I got a Big Gun Race Series exhaust on there that I welded up on. She's on there. Looking pretty good. So hopefully that sounds good. I have to finish putting this thing back together and see how it sounds. been a few days, but finally got the Yamaha Bruin all buttoned up and running right. Could not figure out what was going on. I went through the neutral safety, the reverse safety, because it seemed like it was just hitting a rev limiter. Every time you hit the gas, I put a bigger main in it. I went from a 122, which is factory, to a 130 for the exhaust, and then it was still acting up. And I ended up putting a 132 in it, and it made it slightly better. So after I kept messing around for a while, I ended up putting a 145 in it, and this is where we're at. We've got the Wiseco 10 1/4 to 1 compression piston in there. New timing chain, new exhaust on. It's a big gun, I think. Yeah, big gun. Racing exhaust. But we got it running right now. Listen to her. It's idling high. I got the fuel off. But it will come down. Idle's just about perfect. I'm gonna get this thing buttoned back up and take her out for a spin. Well, we went for a video earlier, we went for a ride earlier, and it's kind of chaotic because we had no brakes and this thing kind of hauls ass. But now, as you can see, got an entire new brake system, brake line, brake block, distribution block, calipers, pads, master cylinder, brake fluid, everything's new and fresh. So we shall retry this.